Alright, welcome back to the channel. Got ourselves a for sale house. Let's do this. Alright, well, this is a for sale house. Beautiful home. Let's take a look at it. Alright, well, welcome back to the channel. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. This is a pretty old house. I like this neighborhood. They definitely have a lot of nice houses in here. Let's go ahead and just take a look around. Alright, one of the things I like already is I don't see the AC system down here. So that's cool. I know there's a debate, people whether they want the AC system in the attic. They'd much rather have it down here. I'm not sure if you've seen my videos before and what happens to these systems in the crawl space, but not good. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I like to pick on crawl spaces. Show you what's living underneath people's feet that they're not even aware of. Look at this mildew right here. Whew. Even though, it's been pretty miserably hot outside. You see the humidity build up in these crawl spaces are quite a bit. So we're basically looking for any kind of plumbing leaks, water intrusion, anything that's going to pretty much raise a flag. So looks like they put gravel around the perimeter here. Let me see if I can get this light on. There we go. So there's a drainage line right here. And I learned this during, down in Florida, I worked for a termite company. Kind of transferred up here with them. But it's been a long time since I've been in the business. But this right here, the French drain too close to the foundation is not good. Because if you read the label for the termiticides, like if I had to come in here because we had termites coming up over here and we had to treat all this or something, these drain lines cannot be close to the foundation because part of the treatment for getting rid of termites is you have to trench. So when you do that, that chemical is going to end up inside of that pipe, and then it's going to drain out to wherever it's going. And you can get yourself into some kind of problems. I know when we looked at a label one time, I think it was for a termiticide called Termador. It talked about the French drain not being able to be about maybe 14 to 18 inches away. Drain line had to be 14 to 18 inches away from the foundation. You can see right there. It's pretty close. See those little slits in the drainage? That's where the water is supposed to go in. But if you're treating that whole area with chemical, that's a problem. Last thing you want to do is get yourself into a problem with the regulatories, pesticide people. So it is really humid in here. So this is a newer home. I do like it. I like this neighborhood. It's nice, very nice. See, you got some drill holes right here. That's usually signs that they treated for termites here at one point. Whew. Definitely humid, but I like this. It's always good to see the newer homes. You guys on this channel who watches my videos, you guys know out there, we get into the older homes too, and I'll tell you what, they get pretty nasty. That last video I put out, whew, the one with the pool in the backyard, yeah, I gotta go back there actually here in the next couple days to do a recheck. So I'm gonna take some video of that. That was a terrible, such a beautiful house too. That was an absolutely terrible crawl space. It was in a very, very rich house. This house was well over $1 million. You can see with this vapor barrier, you see, this is why it's so important. You can see how wet it is. You can also see right there to the foundation how water does get in. And it gets right into that pipe, but I gotta find out if that's something I gotta make a big deal out of. Clean my lens a little bit. You can see how foggy it gets, the condensation on my lens. It's like cave diving in here. So yeah, look how nice all the piers are all, everything's lined up nice. But the humidity down here is bad. If this keeps on the way it is, it's definitely going to be a big problem one day. See how the water comes in, and even though you've got a French drain, which so far I haven't seen a sump pump, the humidity that comes in, it's not going to be good, because I could already see mildew and all that growth. Look at all that. This guy, that's a frog. Well, it was a frog. You can see when they build these crawlspace homes, there's the exterior grating. See, it rained. Well, it's been raining today. You can see that puddle of water out there. And this is where the grating is, right here. Anything below here, this is all soil. And you can see right there, even what they block, I usually pick on the brick, but here they put block down. And even with the block, that water is still finding its way through that mortar. So it gets real saturated on the outside. Obviously this is the back of the yard. Water is going to want to try to still continue to come downhill. And it's going to come right through all this. Look at this. See that? And we had a good rain this weekend. Today is Monday. Some cool weather finally came on by South Carolina. Thank you, Jesus. I think today's high was 75. God, I'll take that all day long. Even though they installed the drainage system where it's at, this has got to be much deeper. See how the water is coming in right here? So it's going to come down, and it's going to find its way underneath this right here. So when you install the French drain, you definitely want to get down low enough for that water to enter that piping system. You can see all this right there. Got some insulation that's down. Yeah, these guys who build these houses, they don't put enough rods on this insulation to hold them up. But then again, there's no accountability. There's no inspector going to come here and look at that. So right out there, that's a deck. It's right on the other side of the deck. You can see the whole back side of this house. Water comes in. If you look, this is a great crawl space. I would throw a dehumidifier down here just to keep it nice. Do something about these, I don't know, I think I'm gonna have to mention something about this French drain being too close. Some areas are just coming out of the ground. This construction debris they leave behind. I've got a lot of videos of that. Actually had a video out there. One was maybe a couple years ago, about a year and a half maybe. A whole sheet of plywood underneath the vapor barrier was being tore up by termites, live termites. So it's a great video. So I don't know what they did here. They stopped with the block and they continued with the brick. You can see how the water is just coming right through that wall. Well, they got the block there at the bottom too. I like to look at how construction companies, every builder does something different. Is this a radon pipe? Got a radon pipe, but it's not vented anywhere. You usually have a radon pipe. Yeah, this is a radon pipe. They'll run a radon pipe, and then they'll run it all the way through the top, through the house, and exhaust out on the roof. But that is not being exhausted anywhere. Actually, I'm wrong. This is the first one I've seen like this. Look at the size of this pipe. And they teed it off. And now it's going up. Pretty cool. A lot of times you just find, I'll tell you what, they probably use about an 8-foot piece of pipe. I'm like, what in the world is that thing doing? I'm not too sure. I mean, radon levels in these areas aren't high at all. I guess the builders just throw that in there. Yeah, you can see the grading on the outside. It's probably right here. And you've got all this right here. Working its way down. Look at that. That's all water. I'm not digging this. Before I write up this report, I'm gonna definitely have to ask a couple more questions about this. At least this one seems like it's deep enough to catch maybe any potential water coming in. Folks, I know you guys have been watching this channel for a while. Hit that subscribe button. Helps me out. I get a lot of views. I get a lot of watch time. I don't know if you guys forget to hit that like and subscribe. Definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these Crawlspace homes. About some of the things I'm going over. Yeah, that's nice. Look at that. This was a nice, easy house to frame. Everything's lining up perfectly. Look at that. I love it. I did frame houses down in Florida for many years. About 14 years. In the lovely Florida heat. I was a rough framer. No easy gig there. But you gotta do what you gotta do. It was very rewarding. We have a lot of different codes down in the Florida state. A lot of things I see here would not be acceptable. Every state has its own rules and regulation. But for example, none of this is tied down. None of it. There's no tie downs here. You know, you got a footer, put a block, pier, and then they just rest. But in this case, it's a nice 3-ply 2x10, very meaty. But there's no tie downs at all. Nothing is secured. You know, these aren't secured to this. The joists aren't secured to this. There's not a continuous system, and I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised it didn't change the codes. I mean, we get every once in a while a little EF2, 1, maybe not enough to do some craziness, but for the most part, somebody flushed the toilet. Came down this way, I just heard it coming down. So it's all coming downhill. Very nice. That's what you want to hear when you're dealing with these houses. Making sure gravity's doing its thing. Yeah, I don't like the mildew down here. It's I might recommend a dehumidifier. It's just, that mildew is just gonna get a lot worse. I'm gonna have to look into that French drain. Let me know in the comments about that French drain. Moving that French drain over is going to be a lot of work. You'd have to move all that gravel out of the way. Holy smokes. Dig a new trench, move it over. Yeah, I don't know what's harder, doing that or just starting on new. I don't know. Either way, that wouldn't be an easy job because this Crawlspace is actually very big. I like the height on it. It's got some nice height to it. But having this drain system too close to the foundation. You guys let me know in the comments. Let me know if you pull up the label for termiticide. Pull a Termidor. That's a popular termiticide they use. Look for Crawlspace drainage on the label. And fact check me on that one. I think this has to be, I don't know, 14 to 18 inches away from the foundation. You can see that I made a complete circle of the house, so pretty much everything is well within a foot. So there's always something, guys. That's why it's important to have inspections done. You don't want to be that person that everybody skipped, and now you're liable for all of it. So this is something that I have to mention on a report. Whether they do something or not, that's fine. I mean, that's not my business, but it is my business to bring it up. But I am going to do a little bit more research to it. I mean, that's like right up on that pier. Folks, hit that like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And God bless you all. I'll see you in the next one.